So very warm welcome back to the Bauer Arena, Sheffield. Halfway through day 2. It's day 3. Is it day 2? Day 3. It's been one of those days already. It's day 3. It's Friday. It's approaching 1:30 UK time. And we're in the under-20s of the World Junior Ball Hockey Championship. It's the host nation, Great Britain, taking on Slovakia. Great Britain will be wearing their blue shirts and shooting from left to right as we look. See Danny Morris in the net there for GB. Ready for our opening face-off, the Young Lions in blue against Slovakia. Drop the ball and we're underway here on the floor at Bauer Arena, Sheffield. You join us at sheffield2016.com. Deflects up and over the GB net. Out of play for the face-off. First chance Slovakia, pad save from Morris and gets down again. 2 good stops in the first 30 seconds from Danny Morris. And off and running for the GB netminder. Face off to the left of Morris. Slovakia setting up inside the blue. 25 is Horvath at the centre, drives towards the net, centering pass. Horvath can't get on the end of it. And it's cleared into mid-court. Slovakia, though, still with it. Forward it comes from the Slovaks. And Morris comes forward, covers up for the play. Ball into the Slovak zone. Cleared forward from the Slovakians. Team in white going from right to left. Play in the Great Britain zone. 94 is Jake Archambault. Cleared forward, Great Britain. Forward for Mort. Centering to Tom Watson. 47's Dransfield. Battling in centre court. And it's cleared down for the Slovakians. They take possession with Ivan Smatna. Forecheck from Matthew Campbell. 2.5 minutes gone by. Josh Nertney pressuring for Great Britain. Forces the turnover into the centre of the floor. Great Britain still with it. Nertney dispossessed just inside the Slovak zone. Ball in mid-court. Campbell forward to Nertney. Nertney has it in the attacking third. It's round behind the Slovak line. And GB off for a change. 22 is Matuszka. Cross to Kuczmarek. Slovakia. Zach Brown. Strong deep play outside the British zone. It's behind Great Britain's net with Matt Ragg. Ragg plays it up the feet, up the floor, and then a shot from Martin Honko goes wide. 48, Zach Brown gets to the red line, dumps it in for the change. 5 new players on the floor for GB. Zayn Kamali. Pressure with Stephen Kernan. Slovakia carry it forward up the floor. Pressured in the own zone with 19 is Zach Wilson. Archambault brings it away for GB. McMillan, Great Britain gained the zone. McMillan forward to Carmely. Slovakia though turn it over and carry it forward. Collision at the centre line. Play continues. 4.5 gone by. Still scoreless. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 0. Tom Watson, forecheck, and then picks it up. First penalty goes the way of Great Britain. It's Dean McMillan. Sits 2 for slashing. And the Slovakia power play comes into effect. Shot saved by Morris. Clear down the floor with 78 Callum Mort. Trying to carry it, could have cleared it up the floor. It's Slovakia bringing it forward. Across the face of the British net. Still there with 23 is Olejnik. Philip Simon gives the wind up. Cross ring pass. 23 again, Olejnik. The one-timer shoots and scores. Not many netminders will be stopping those this week from the Slovakia power play. 5.5 minutes gone by. It opens the scoring. You can see it from the shot at the top of the face-off circle through Danny Morris. It's Great Britain 0, Slovakia 1. Power play goal, 5.5 minutes played. So Christian Bednarczyk with the opening goal. Forecheck again from GB. Josh Nertney battles forward at the near boards. Forward pass from Slovakia intended for their number 18, Lucas Bednar. It goes all the way through one end of the ring to the other. And icing charge against Slovakia gives Great Britain the respite of an offensive zone face-off. Ball back on the British side, but Slovakia with it. Played forward from the halfway line, and Danny Morris, safety first, covers up for the face-off. 8:46 to play in P1. Sprawling stop from Morris. Man on the doorstep. Makes himself big, does the GB goalie. And covers up for another face-off. It's Kratochvila going in against Kernan. Back on the side with GB, tipped and up and out of play. So we go again, Kratochvila and Kearney. Back on the British side of Archambault with Wilson. Played into the boards by Gaidos. And it's going to be a power play to Great Britain. Delayed penalty. Morris to the bench. Extra attacker for GB. Archambault up to the halfway line to Tom Watson. And Great Britain with the extra attacker until the penalty is called. It was Wilson forward to Kearney. Kearney down for Dransfield. Great Britain in the Slovakia net. And then finally touched up by the Slovaks. And it's a body checking penalty on Miroslav Gaidos. And we go to the special teams for Great Britain. Man advantage for the next 2 minutes. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 1, but Great Britain with a chance here on the power play. Branislav Zvik has it though for Slovakia, carrying forward. Over the red, over the blue, gains the zone. And then knocked off it by Jake Archambault. Pass too strong for Matthew Campbell. Goes length of the floor. And icing charge against Great Britain. .134 left on the Slovakia penalty. Face off back on GB side. Wilson ran behind the net to Archambault. Under pressure from Zvik. But Archambault carries it forwards over the blue, over the red. We've got Matthew Campbell forward for company. Great Britain gains the zone. Still Matthew Campbell. Backhand pass to Tom Watson. Knocked down in the face-off circle. And Slovakia with Simko bring it away. Over halfway through the first period here in the under-20 division of the World Champion Junior Ball Hockey. GB 0, Slovakia 1. Shot from McMillan. Stick save by Sadlon in the Slovakia net. 38 seconds left on the man advantage. Zvik brings it away. Broken up by Wilson. Forward to Nertney. Carries it forward, gains the zone. Forgets to take the ball though. And then a one-timer from Honko. Wide of the mark. 15 seconds left. 6 minutes left in the period. Honko again. Decides to carry it in this time. And it's cleared forward by GB. Watson plays forward, icing waved off, and the Slovakians return to full strength. Coming down to 5.5 minutes to play. Sheffield2016.com. If you are watching us, you can follow us on our social media at Sheffield2016 and give us a mention wherever it is you're watching. Group of GB fans on Teesside, Bewley Primary in Billingham, cheering on Ross Beale. GB's number 45. So great to have you along in Bewley Primary. So it's at Sheffield 2016 on the social media, as it is an offensive chance for GB, snuffed out by Slovakia and Filip Simon. One-time passing from Slovakia. 1-2, great save from Morris. Got down to that one. And cleared by Archambault into centre of the field. Still in centre of the floor, and 10.5 minutes gone by so quickly here in period one. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 1. Slovakia down the far wing. Diving stop from Zach Wilson. Kept in at the blue line from Bednarczyk. Then the pass across is cut out by Kernan. But still, Slovakia come time and time again. The wrist shot attempt from Filip Simon. Clear to halfway. Still kept in the zone. And the one-timer doesn't make it through. Still, Slovakia applying a lot of pressure on the GB net. Coming down to 3.5 minutes to play. Cleared by Wilson. Only as far as the blue line. Comes back. Second chance for Wilson to clear, which he does. Foot race. This is Karmali against Bednarczyk. And Bednarczyk wins. Puck goes down for icing. So defensive zone face-off for GB. Matthew Campbell in for the draw. Comes back on the Slovakian side. Wrist shot. Goes wide of the target. Sibic in the corner with Rag. Rag and big swing from Matthew Campbell to get it away. 4-2 Josh Nertney. Forecheck from the GB number 5. Slovakia bring it away over the red, over the blue from Slovakia. Nice backhand pass and shoots and scores. Lukas Bednar. Sometimes goals like that happen. You just have to stand and applaud. The give and go just inside the GB zone. The backhand pass put Bednar clear, and he made no mistake going a high glove on Danny Morris. 12:04 played. It's Slovakia 2, Great Britain 0. More viewers on the GB supporting crew. Got Paul England cheering on from Barnsley. I'll be down here later with the 16s and 18s who play after 5:30 tonight. So it's Paul England in Barnsley. Also Mrs. D watching the Canadian boys, Zach Wilson and Jake Archambault. Cheering on from Caledon, Ontario. But very much red, white and blue for Great Britain. So you're very welcome joining us here on Sheffield2016.com, home of the World Junior Ball Hockey Championships. On the floor, it's 2:21 to play. Power play chance for Slovakia. 1-for-1 on their man advantage so far. So Stephen Kiernan takes the tripping penalty, and Great Britain able to clear it down the floor. Archambault, the length of the floor. And of course GB killing a penalty so they can fire it down the floor without penalty. Not so for Slovakia, they get the icing charge. And able to relieve some pressure, Great Britain with the offensive face-off. Four on the floor for Great Britain. Got Nertney, Carmely, Archambault and Wilson. Face-off win by Slovakia. Nertney stays high as the forecheckers. The other three retreat to their own blue line. 1:20 on the penalty clock. Slow build-up again from Slovakia, but as we saw, once they decide to go for it lethal on the one-timers, it's Bednarczyk battling forward. He's got Olejnik. Olejnik gives it away to Nertney, fires it down the floor. Foot race from Josh Nertney, instead gives it up and plays defense first. Retreats to the blue line. Gaining the zone for Slovakia, 17, Filip Simon. A tripping penalty to level it at 4-on-4. Slovakia take the penalty and we'll go 4-on-4 for 38 seconds. Just around a minute left in the period. Four men on the floor for Great Britain. Comes back on the British side, but Slovakia first to it. With Durkach. Durkach shot wide of Morris's net. Durkach playing a 1-2 with Sibic. And then the one-timer from Svandner from outside the blue. Saved by Morris. Back to Bushovsky. Still Slovakia with the pressure, 4-on-4 until Kiernan returns to the floor now. So Great Britain on the power play. Kiernan with Zach Brown. 2-on-1 with Great Britain. Zach Brown in the corner. Kiernan drives towards the net, but Slovakia with Bushovsky. Runs down the last few seconds of the period. And right on the hooter, penalty on Great Britain's Matthew Campbell. So we'll start period 2, 4-on-4. But as we take our first interval, it's Great Britain 0, Slovakia 2. World Junior Ball Hockey here at Sheffield2016.com. Find us on social media at Sheffield2016. We've had a lot of love so far from GB. Anybody cheering in from Slovakia or anywhere else watching us here on the web stream, we'll give you a mention if you give us a tag on social media. I'll take a short break. Back with period 2 of GB 0, Slovakia 2 in just a few moments. Welcome back for period 2. Our under 20s here at the World Juniors in Sheffield. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 2 at the first break. And we're playing 4-on-4. Penalty right on the hooter on Great Britain's Matthew Campbell. So 4-on-4 the first minute. Penalty coming again on Great Britain. Delayed penalty. Goalie makes his way towards the bench. Extra attacker on the floor. Slovakia getting set up. Still with the extra attacker. Spalling stop tried from Jake Archambault. Slovakia have returned to full strength, still operating with an extra attacker. The one-timer wide of the target from Slovakia, 23. Keeping it in is Olejnik for Slovakia. The one-timer again, 13 is Branislav Zvik. And play's finally blown down. So 37 seconds of a 5-on-3 for GB to face. Callum Mort sitting 2 for hooking. Ball back on the Slovakian side. Horvath setting up for the one-timer from the slot. Instead it's Bednarczyk, dealt with by Morris. This is Horvath. Very condensed in the zone from Slovakia. Making the zone very small indeed. Pass across, 23, can't get the shot away. And then finally the net off the line. Danny Morris going post to post on the penalty kill. Keep the face off inside the Great Britain zone. 2 minutes gone in the period. Ball back in the Slovakian zone. Great Britain back to 4 players. 70 seconds on the PK. Ivan Svantner down in the corner. Up high to Bushovsky. Slovakia this time expanding the box. Filling the full zone. Shoots and scores. Power play proves too strong again. And it makes it a 3-0 lead for Slovakia. Not sure if we got a tip in front, but you can see on the replay. Svantner was running across the top of the crease just as the shot came in. So Lucas Durkach with the power play goal. And Slovakia offside at the GB blue line. Played in for Slovakia. 22 is Matuska. That's Kratoshvili running across the hash marks, keeping possession, and now finally broken up by Great Britain. Alashiri for Slovakia. Can't get it into the Great Britain half an out, and it's deflected into the netting above the penalty boxes right here in front of us. And we'll take the face off just outside Slovakia's zone. 3:12 gone in period 2. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 3. Dumped in by Rag. Callum Mort on the forecheck. 2-on-1 from Slovakia. Joe Bull, though, broke up the play. Carried forward by Slovakia. And defence from Great Britain, making it difficult for the Slovakians as possible. Coming up to the 4-minute mark in P2. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 3. Give and go at the blue line. Morris gets across there for Great Britain. And pad save again for Morris. And the second one goes high into the corner. 69 is Honko. Under pressure from Watson. Great Britain win possession, cleared into the neutral zone. Still GB, save again from Morris. And that's wide from Slovakia's 13. A lot of pressure from the Slovaks. But Great Britain's defence doing a grand job by and large. Archambault with the pressure, and Callum Mort with the clearance. Icing is waved off. And that's high and wide from Branislav Zwick. And this is Josh Nurtney for Great Britain. Behind the Slovakia net, waiting for support from the back. Shot comes in, loose in front, Campbell's there. Slovakia just managed to get it away. Clearance from Slovakia. And we've got a player from each team. So coincidental roughing penalties on both teams. So we'll say 5 on 5. Dominika Balazova tuned in from Slovakia, enjoying the game so far. Shot from the neutral zone for Great Britain, dealt with by the Slovakia goalie, but still Great Britain threaten on the coincidental play. Although quick break from Slovakia, backhand effort from Bednarczyk, just wide of the mark. Played down the floor, and icing is the charge. Update from our Caledon, Ontario branch of the GB Supporters Club. Mrs. D supporting Jake Archambault and Zach Wilson. Also, family in the UK from Cumnock in Scotland and Corby and Morecambe in England. So a lot of UK roots for our two heritage players, Zach Wilson and Jake Archambault. Very much part of the GB Young Lions here at Sheffield 2016. It's Callum Mort. Gains his own for Great Britain. Pass across in front. Shot. Doesn't quite make it through. It's Dransfield with the effort. But back is Wilson. Behind the GB net to Archambault. Up to Tom Watson. Watson forward to Mort. This is Tom Watson, 3-on-3 if Great Britain can use it. Watson to Mort, kept away by Svantner for Slovakia. And played all the way through to Danny Morris, who drops the glove on it. Face off left hand side of Danny Morris. Won by GB. And we're going coincidental again. 7 minutes gone in period 2. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 3. So coincidental play again, still 5-on-5 on the floor. Kept in just at the blue line, shot across from Gazjos. That one's blocked by Kiernan. Shots and scores! Kratoshvili from just inside the blue line. So Kratoshvili with a blast from the high slot. Makes it Great Britain 0, Slovakia 4. Loose play in front, pass across. Chance for Slovakia. It comes to nothing. And then the shot put wide. And then the rebound put in by Samuel Simcoe. Morris sprawling, lost his stick in the earlier play. And then Simcoe tapping home the rebound. 8:03 on the clock. It's Great Britain 0, Slovakia 4. So Samuel Simko gets the 5th goal for Slovakia. Coming down 6.5 to play in the second period. Morris again. From the face-off, short-handed play from Great Britain. Zach Brown with a chance. Deflected up and out of play. Sadlon hasn't had a lot to do, but it was equal to that one. Blocks it away. And Great Britain killing off the penalty on Matthew Campbell. And now Slovakia with the power play for another 95 seconds. Gains the zone. Slashing call again on Zain Karmali. So a long 5-on-3 for Great Britain to survive. Clear down the floor. Delayed penalty, an extra penalty coming on Great Britain. Extra attacker on the floor. So 6-on-3 on the floor at the moment. Slovakia moving the ball around. Shot cleared by Wilson. And it's Zach Wilson. So a long 5-on-3 for Slovakia against GB. 5.5 minutes to play in the period. Cleared as far as the blue line by GB. 22 for Slovakia's Matuska. Controlling it from the point. Fast ball movement to create the opportunity. And shoots and scores. Krashoshvili from the bottom of the circle. Gets it through Morris. Matty Campbell has come out. Don't worry about the game. Still 5-on-3 for GB. Saved by Morris. And then brings out the windmill. Still there for Slovakia. And 21 Novak has most of the net to shoot into. And he does just that. GB still on the penalty kill. Zach Wilson's minor is the only penalty now on the board. A shot from Philippe Simon, saved by Morris. 3.5 to play in the second period. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 7. Covers up again from Morris. Pad save from Morris, and then the defence get in to block the shot as well. Clear down the floor by Steve Kiernan. 50 seconds left on the power play. Slovakia gain the zone with Bednarczyk. Still Slovakia moving the ball very well on the power play. Bednarczyk at this near side. The one-timer blocked by Kiernan. So Coincidental penalties on Campbell for Great Britain and Horvath for Slovakia. Archambault with the shot from the neutral zone. Play stopped for injury on the play. Delayed penalty still coming. Chance across from Slovakia. It's over the top. Final 2 minutes of the period. Slovakia with a chance. Morris hasn't got a stick but makes the pad stop. And then we have the play blown down from our officials. Two minutes to play in the period. Dean McMillan takes seat for tripping. And GB back to the penalty kill. (16) for Slovakia's Simko. So 5-on-3 for Slovakia. Josh Nertney, a slashing penalty. Got a minute and a half in period 2. Kept in the GB zone. 61 is Kratoshvili. cycling down low. Kratochvila to the point. It's Bushowski. Kratochvila. And then this is getting unsavory. A lot of penalties in the game, and obviously tempers running very high. The challenge on the netminder after he'd covered the ball, and it's all just boiled over behind the Great Britain net. One minute and 10 seconds left in period 2. So the referees having a discussion. So long discussion at the scorer's bench. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 7 is the score. Still 1 minute 10 seconds left of period 2. So if you're just joining us on the stream, still 1 minute 10 seconds left of the second period of a long stoppage after a melee behind the GB net. And we're sorting out the penalties. Seen 2 players from each side leave the rink. We'll get all of the information as soon as we can. But as far as the scoreboard's concerned, we've got 1 minute and 10 left in period 2. And we've got the full period 3 still to play. It's Great Britain 0, Slovakia 7. So we're back underway. Slovakia still in the power play, which was already in effect before our interruption. The news from the scorers. 2 players from each team, 5 plus a game for fighting, and an extra minor penalty as well. So the penalties are all coincidental. 2 5-in games, 2 minors on each side. And we continue the last 34 seconds of the second period. Still a 5-on-3 in effect from the existing penalties. And hopefully the stoppage will have calmed down some of the tensions on the floor. We can get the next 15 minutes done and dusted without further incident. Hooter sounds for the end of period 2. So that's the end of 2 periods. And the interval still in effect despite the long stoppage, taking the 5-minute interval between the second and third periods. Next game on the floor, scheduled off at 3:30, although it could be delayed, will be Switzerland and Canada at under 16s. Back underway with period 3 here with our under 20s in just a few minutes. Sheffield2016.com is the official website. All of the stats, standings, team news, and links to our web streaming and archive games as well. And if you're on social media at Sheffield2016, to tune in. Send us a message on Twitter or on Facebook. I will give you a mention in the third period. A few minutes left in the interval. We'll be back with you shortly here. Sheffield216.com. The World Junior Ball Hockey Championships. Sheffield Bauer Arena. So we're underway in period number 3, and a change between the pipes for the young Lions. Megan Quigley seeing the action in the final session. GB have returned to full strength. And GB themselves now go to the power play. A boarding penalty on Miroslav Gajos. And face off for Great Britain, won though by Slovakia. And just down the floor for Simco. It's wide from Branislav Zwick. GB have it, looking to bring it up the floor. 4 to Nerdney. Nerdney down into the corner for Zach Brown to chase. And it'll be a Great Britain 5-on-3. 2 penalties in the first 64 seconds on Slovakia. That's Jan Kavadza for Slovakia. Takes a body checking penalty. It's 5-on-3 for Great Britain. Kept in at halfway by Kernan. The one-timer from Zach Brown. Pad save, a great stop as well it was from Sadlon. Icing for Great Britain. So come back to the face-off circle to the right of Megan Quigley. 59 seconds on the first penalty. GB still operating the 5-on-3 power play. It's in the corner with Tomachko under pressure from Nerdney. This is Kernan for GB. And an injury on the play. Play's blown down. Final few seconds of the first penalty. And Slovakia will return to 4 on the floor. Matt Ragg has it at the top for GB, down low towards Harry Bridges. Slovakia with 4 men. Forward pass to Gajdos. Gajdos round Quigley, doesn't get the shot away. 10 seconds on the second penalty, and we're back to full complement on the court. Callum Mort forechecking at the top for Great Britain. Shot through from 13, that's Zwick. Stick save from Quigley. Loose in the neutral zone. Still Slovakia win it back with Zwick. Zwick, shot save. Glove stop from Megan Quigley. And 3:42 gone in the third period. Still Great Britain 0, Slovakia 7. Loose in front and finally tapped home at the top of the crease. Goal 8 for Slovakia. So back underway. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 8. Lukas Durkec with the final touch for Slovakia. Komali almost through on net for Great Britain. In the zone though, Slovakia with control. Shot and off the shoulder of Megan Quigley. Up into the netting above the plexiglass here at the Bauer Arena. Shot from the far side, goes wide of the net. Slovakia the control it, kept in at the blue. Bounce back from the boards behind the net. Danger cleared for now though. The one timer comes in, pad save from Quigley. Got down well to that one. It's cleared down the floor, only as far as the halfway line, so control still remains with Slovakia. Kruczmarek behind the GB goal, turns this way, that way. And then it's cleared down the floor from Josh Nertley. Foot race for the GB number 5. It's waved off the icing. Battle along the boards behind the Slovakia net. Brought away by 66, which is Temechko. Forward is Novak, gets there first, ahead of Ross Beale. And Beale takes the penalty in the corner. High sticking is the call on Ross Beale, so Great Britain short-handed for the next 2 minutes. Slovakia power play, passing and moving, setting up for a one-timer somewhere, and it's passed back across. The one-time pass to Simcoe. It is at its near side, swapping places with Honko. Back to Simcoe, just inside the blue line is Honko. Comes back to the 69 for Slovakia. Saved in front by Quigley and then cleared as far as the blue line only. Control still with Slovakia. 13 is Zwick. Back to Honko. And that's tipped. Diving Stephen Kernan. I've got 8.5 to play. 56 seconds on the power play. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 8. Slovakia with 91 Svantner at the top, controlling things from the point. 12's Durkech. Pass and go from the near side, back to Svantner at the top. It's off the boards, and then Megan just covers up as it creeps towards the line. The referee right beside the goal waves it off. Seven minutes gone by in P3. 20 seconds on the power play. Penalty against Ross Beale. Back to Svantner at the top on the point. Set for the one-timer. That's high from Durkech. 24 is Brusovski. Once again, we've got matching penalties. Two seconds on the penalty on the clock. Beale returns to the floor and skates towards the Great Britain bench. Change on the floor. Peter Mallon joins the action. And we're back to 5-on-5. In neutral zone at Nertney. Britain clear the zone and Slovakia come again. 7 minutes to play in the game. It's Great Britain 0, Slovakia 8. And this is Matt Drag with it. Delayed penalty coming for Great Britain. Quigley towards the bench and then touched up by the Slovakians. Interference on 11, Miroslav Gajdos. And Great Britain to the power play. This is Zach Wilson in the neutral zone. Wilson and Rag turned over with Slovakia. It's 66. Tomechko goes in on Quigley and shoots high into the top of the net. Great finish from Michael Tomechko. Short-handed goal for Slovakia. On Twitter, the Kernans supporting GB76 Stephen Kernan, a Victoria in British Columbia. So we've got a GB supporting faction in Caledon, Ontario, and now a GB faction in Victoria, BC as well. So you're all very welcome to join us here on Sheffield2016.com. We're on social media at Sheffield2016. On Facebook and on Twitter. If you give us a like or a favourite, and we'll give you a mention during one of our broadcasts. 5.5 minutes to play as we come down late in period 3 actions. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 9. One timer from the slot was tried by Zwick but couldn't get the shot away. Pass and move once again from the Slovakians. Saved by Quigley from the shot from the point. And it's Zach Wilson coming towards the box for GB. .520 to play, and we're going 4-on-4. Zach Wilson slashing penalty, and makes it 4-on-4 for the next 30 seconds before Slovakia will return to a full complement. Kicks it back to Durkac at the top, and I think that's tipped in front. Durkac fired it towards the net, and it's tipped past Quigley. For double figures for Slovakia. GB 0, Slovakia 10. So Durkac gets the goal, 12 from 18, Lucas Bednar. It sounded on the initial feed as it had a redirect in front of Quigley's net, but a shot from Durkac is the one that goes all the way through. Turned aside from the shot from halfway. Another stop from Megan Quigley. More of the Zach Wilson fans from Toronto and Brampton, Ontario, getting in contact on our Twitter at Sheffield 2016. So the pride of the Lion reaching all around the world. Wide from Tomečko. Slovakia now go to the power play, return to full strength. And a shot, the one-timer from Gajdos between the hash marks into the net for 11 to Slovakia. GB's Tom Watson taking the face-off for the restart. And Tom's sisters are watching the action and supporting GB from Troon in Scotland. As the Slovakians make it 12 inside 11 minutes. Delayed penalty coming on the play. So that's Slovakia's Dirkec. Takes the penalty for tripping. So Great Britain on the power play. 3.5 to play in the period and in the game. Great Britain 0, Slovakia 12. I think it hit the man in front of the net. Three and a quarter to play. Zach Wilson gains the zone for Great Britain. Zach Brown. Play down the floor. Icing doesn't apply. Slovakia short-handed. Great stop. Back stick from Megan Quigley. Got down with the pad. Stopped it at the short side. 78 is Mort. 76, Stephen Kearney. 3.5 to play, 2.5 to play, beg your pardon, more matching minor penalties. Holding on Great Britain and roughing on Slovakia. Slovakia with it, 5 seconds, and they'll return to full strength. Matt Ragg with the defensive play behind the GB net. 16 is D. McMillan. Down the floor, touched up by Slovakia, Durkach. And Slovakia, another penalty on 16, it's Samuel Simko. Double minor for cross-checking on Simko. So GB could very well finish the game on the power play, unless of course they score a couple of power play goals. GB 0, Slovakia 12. Minute and a half to play in the game. 13 is Zwick. Face-off win Slovakia. Down the floor from Ragg, only as far as the Slovakian defenseman. Forward intended for Novak. Novak has it. Drop pass to Tomechko in the slot. Save from Megan Quigley from Zwick. And 21 is Novak. Novak back to Kavajda. Final 45 seconds of play here at the Bauer Arena. The under-20s of Great Britain and Slovakia. Next on the court will be the under-16s of Switzerland and Canada. .30 seconds to go and Slovakia shoots and scores. Short-handed marker for the Slovakians. Just on the replay, it creeps past Megan Quigley. 30 seconds to play. Great Britain still remain on the power play. Face-off win, it's with Slovakia. Loose in front, and Megan Quigley had it covered up. 18 seconds remaining in the game. Deflected into the netting above the plexi. 15 seconds. Attempted clearance down the floor by GB. It's kept in at the red line by Svantner. And that's pouched by Quigley. Top of the crease. 6 seconds remaining in the game. Face off in the Great Britain zone. Final 5 seconds, Great Britain with possession. And there goes the hooter on the win for Slovakia in the under-20s here at Sheffield 2016, the World Ball Hockey Championships. Final score, Great Britain 0, Slovakia 13. So next on the floor will be Switzerland and Canada under-16s. Due off at 3:30, but will be a little delayed.
Well, I'm so looking forward to getting that game sheet back. It's a bit exciting, right?
Teams lining up on their blue lines. We'll have our players of the game sponsored by Bauer, followed by the Slovakia national anthem. And then we'll be back on the broadcast with Canada and Switzerland in the under-16s. Stephen Kearney for Great Britain gets the Bauer sponsored player of the game. And Durkec, Slovakia's number 12. They are your Bauer sponsored players of the game. We'll finish with the Slovakia national anthem, and then we'll be back very shortly with our under-16 Switzerland and Canada from the Sheffield2016.com web stream. Thanks for tuning in. We're back soon with the under-16s. We'll leave you with our winners here in the under-20s. The national anthem from Slovakia.